You know, all around us, we're constantly bathed in something we barely even notice, artificial light. But what if? What if this new kind of light, the very light in our homes and offices, is actually messing with our health on a deep, cellular level, and we don't even see it happening?
Okay, let's just dive right in with a pretty startling claim. Neuroscientist Dr. Glenn Jeffrey is not holding back here. He's putting our everyday LED bulb in the same category as asbestos. I mean, wow, that is a massive statement. So what's the science behind something that bold?
So to really get why a simple light bulb could even be an issue, we've got to back up a little. We need to understand a basic concept. Light is so much more than what we see with our eyes. It's this whole spectrum of energy, right? And different parts of that spectrum have totally different effects on our bodies.
Okay, so check this out, because this is the key difference. You've got your short wavelengths, like blue and UV light. Think of them as high energy. They've got a real kick to them. That's why you get a sunburn, right? Your skin literally blocks them right on the surface. But then you have the long wavelengths, the reds and infrareds. They're different. They're lower energy, so they don't just punch the surface. Instead, they soak deep into your body, delivering this gentle warmth and energy right into your tissues.
So how on earth did this even become a problem? Well, believe it or not, this is a super recent thing. For basically all of human history, our bodies knew just one kind of light. But lately, in our quest to be super energy efficient, we've created a totally new light environment that our biology has never seen before.
For literally billions of years, life on this planet evolved under one thing: the full, balanced spectrum of sunlight and fire. You know, light that was packed with both the short and the long wavelengths. Even that old incandescent bulb from 1879, it did a pretty good job of mimicking the sun. But then, just in the last 20 years or so, we've swapped all that out for something completely alien to our bodies: the narrow, kind of weird light of an LED.
And this chart right here, it just nails the core of the problem. Natural light, it's smooth, it's continuous. But LEDs, to save energy, they create this really spiky, incomplete spectrum. You see that huge spike of high-energy blue light? And then look what's missing. The long, healing red and infrared wavelengths are almost completely gone. We've basically put ourselves on a junk food diet of light, all of the high-energy, jittery stuff, and none of the deep, restorative energy our cells are craving.
So, what happens when you're on this weird light diet? Well, in animal studies, the results are kind of scary. When mice are raised under just standard LED lights, their cellular engines start to sputter. They gain weight, they get fatty livers, and their behavior even changes. It really makes you ask the question, what part of us is being hit so hard by the kind of light we're using?
Well, the answer is hiding deep inside almost every single cell in your body. See, we have trillions of these little engines working 24/7 to keep us alive. And it turns out they are incredibly sensitive to the light they get. Okay, let's meet the mitochondria. You probably remember these guys from high school biology as the powerhouse of the cell, and that's exactly what they are. They're like these tiny little batteries that take the food you eat and the air you breathe and turn it into the energy that fuels, well, everything you do. And the energy they make is a molecule called ATP. It's the universal energy currency for all life. But get this is wild. Your mitochondria produce roughly your entire body weight in ATP every single day. So you can see why having them work efficiently is kind of important for your health. Okay, so how does light fit into all this? This part is just fascinating. Imagine the inside of your cells are filled with this thick, kind of sticky, gel-like water. What happens is the long wavelength light, the red light, it penetrates right into the cell and it basically thins out that water. It makes it less sticky. So now those little rotary motors that spin to create ATP can just go faster and more freely. It's literally like adding a super lubricant to an engine. And the cell, it notices, it senses this new efficiency and it thinks, whoa, this is great, let's build more. And it actually lays down more protein machinery to make even more energy. It's an upgrade.
Okay, so now we get the how red light lubricates and upgrades our cellular engines. So let's look at the what. What are the actual scientifically proven results when we put this missing light back into our lives? And the effects are incredible. They show up all over the body, from how we process sugar to how well we can see.
This is so cool. We're not just talking about a skin-deep effect here. This long wavelength light, it doesn't just stop at your skin. Nope, it penetrates and scatters throughout your body. It can go through your clothes, your tissue, even your skull. What that means is, if you shine it on one part of your body, you can get these widespread systemic benefits, because that light energy is literally bouncing around and reaching everywhere. So that deep penetration led Dr. Jeffrey's lab to ask a pretty wild question. They thought, okay, if our mitochondria use glucose for energy and red light makes them work harder, could we actually change our metabolism just by shining a light on a little patch of skin?
And the answer? A big fat yes. They did a human study where people drank a sugary drink. When they got just a brief dose of red light on a small spot on their back, that big spike in blood sugar that usually happens, it was reduced by over 20%. The mitochondria, all supercharged by the light, were just sucking up more glucose from the blood. It's an amazing metabolic effect.
And the effects on aging are just as profound. Now, the retina in your eye has the highest concentration of mitochondria in your entire body, and their function goes down as we get older, right? Well, in one study, a single 3-minute blast of deep red light improved color vision in people over 40 by about 20%. It was literally like recharging the batteries in their aging eyes.
And get this wasn't just some temporary little boost that fades away in an hour. No way. That single 3-minute session, it had a measurable effect that lasted for nearly a week. The cellular machinery just stayed in that upgraded, more efficient mode. That is a huge return on investment for just 3 minutes.
Okay, so this is all great, but what's the big takeaway? How can we actually use this science in our own lives? Do we all need to run out and buy some expensive high-tech red light panel? The good news is, no. The solutions are actually super simple and things you can start doing today.
So here's your healthy light action plan. 4 simple but really powerful ways to fix your light diet. First, get some morning sun whenever you can, even if it's cloudy. That morning light is packed with those good long wavelengths. Second, swap out a key LED bulb, maybe the one in your desk lamp, for an old-school incandescent or halogen bulb. Third, bring plants inside. They are amazing natural reflectors of infrared light. And fourth, here's a great little hack. If you have an incandescent bulb on a dimmer, when you dim it down, it actually puts out a higher proportion of that healthy therapeutic infrared light. It basically becomes a little heat lamp.
When you step back, this whole deep dive into light reveals something pretty powerful, doesn't it? That sometimes the biggest improvements to our health don't come from some complicated new technology. They come from rediscovering the simple, fundamental things from our natural world that we've kind of accidentally gotten rid of in our modern lives. It really makes you wonder, if just changing a light bulb can have this much impact, what else are we missing?